Lesson 86, Making Uncountable Nouns Countable. Hello, and welcome to this lesson. Today, we are going to learn how to make uncountable nouns countable by using expressions such as a piece of, a bit of, and other words that combine with particular uncountable nouns. A. Using bit and piece. Many uncountable nouns can be made singular and countable by adding a piece of or a little bit of. To make them plural, use pieces of or bits of. The word bit is less formal than piece, and the two words are not always interchangeable. Bit can be used with many different kinds of nouns, while piece is particularly common with uncountable nouns. A bit also usually suggests a smaller amount than a piece. For example, how many pieces of luggage have you got with you? The police collected bits of information from different sources. Chopin wrote some wonderful pieces of music. Before you go to England, I should give you 2 bits of advice. He spends all his money buying new bits of computer equipment. Common mistakes. Because furniture is uncountable, use a piece of furniture when referring to one item. Say, "What an attractive piece of furniture." Do not say, "What an attractive furniture." B. Words used with weather. Particular countable words are commonly used with uncountable weather nouns. A weather forecast might say that the weather will be variable. In the north, there may be heavy showers of rain. A period of sunny weather can be called a sunny spell of weather. Thunder may be heard as rumbles of thunder or louder claps of thunder. Lightning may appear in flashes of lightning. A small amount of rain can be described as a few spots of rain. Strong, brief movements of wind are called gusts of wind. A natural forecast might sound like this. Today's weather will be variable. The north is likely to have heavy showers of rain. The sunny spell of weather experienced last week will continue across much of the south, although some areas may have occasional rumbles of thunder, flashes of lightning, and several loud claps of thunder. These will be followed by a few spots of rain, but gusts of wind should soon blow the clouds away, and the sunshine will return. Words used with groceries. Different containers, shapes, and portions can make uncountable grocery nouns countable. You may buy a loaf of bread, a couple of slices of ham, 2 bars of chocolate, a tube of toothpaste, 2 cartons of milk, and 3 bars of soap. The word slice can also be used with toast, bread, meat, and cheese. Words used with nature. A single narrow leaf of grass is called a blade of grass. For example, look at the ladybird on that blade of grass. A visible mass of smoke in the sky is a cloud of smoke. For example, look at that cloud of smoke hanging over the town. A small amount of smoke released into the air is a puff of smoke. For example, we could see little puffs of smoke coming out of the volcano. One act of breathing in fresh air can be described as a breath of fresh air. For example, let us go outside and get a breath of fresh air. A solid piece of coal is a lump of coal. For example, put another lump of coal on the fire, please. The word lump can also be used with sugar, as in a lump of sugar. Other useful expressions. A sudden piece of good fortune is a stroke of luck. For example, I had an amazing stroke of luck this morning. The expression, not a stroke of work, means no work at all. It is used in negative sentences, and is more emphatic than not a bit of work. For example, I have never seen him do a stroke of work. A sudden period of anger is a fit of temper. For example, I have never seen him in such a fit of temper before. One particular method of traveling is a means of transport. For example, the donkey is the basic means of transport on the island. One object that someone wears may be called an article of clothing or an item of clothing. For example, jeans must be the most useful article of clothing ever invented. We can also say, Jeans must be the most useful item of clothing ever invented. A single news story is an item of news. For example, there was an interesting item of news about France on television last night. C. Using a state of. The expression a state of is often used before abstract and countable nouns. Common combinations include a state of chaos, a state of tension, a state of confusion, a state of health, a state of disorder, a state of uncertainty, a state of poverty, a state of agitation, a state of despair, and a state of flux. Flux means continuous change. For example, the transport system is in a state of chaos.